Have you ever noticed how quiet cats are when they're not feeling well? They don't cry, they don't make a scene, but their body speaks. And if you know how to pay attention, you'll start to notice the signs. In today's video, we're going to talk about a problem that's way more common than it seems. Worms in cats. You'll learn what they are, how your cat can get them, what warning signs to look out for, and most importantly, what to do to treat and prevent them. Stick around until the end, because this info could make a huge difference in your cat's health and life. What are worms? Did you know that worms are one of the most common health issues in cats? And the scariest part is that many pet owners don't even realize their cat is infected. Worms, or intestinal parasites, are organisms that live inside your cat's body, mostly in the intestines. They feed off the nutrients your cat eats, and that can lead to all kinds of problems, from mild discomfort to serious issues like malnutrition, anemia, or even intestinal blockages. The most common ones are roundworms, especially in kittens. Tapeworms are also pretty common. They're flat and stick to the intestinal wall. You might even see little segments in your cat's poop or around there, but that look like grains of rice. There are also microscopic parasites like Giardia, which are harder to detect without lab tests. It's estimated that up to 45% of cats will have worms at some point in their lives. Each type acts differently, but they all have one thing in common. If left untreated, they can seriously harm your cat's health. How do cats get worms? There are lots of ways cats can get infected. And yes, even indoor cats aren't completely safe. One of the most common ways is through contact with contaminated poop. If your cat uses a shared litter box or steps on infected soil and then licks their paws, they can swallow worm eggs without even knowing it. Another super common way is through fleas. Fleas can carry tapeworm eggs, and if your cat swallows a flea while grooming, boom, they're infected. Food is another risk. Raw or undercooked meat can contain parasite larvae, and cats that go outside or hunt mice and bugs are even more exposed. Kittens can also get worms from their mom while nursing, especially roundworms. And believe it or not, worm eggs can be brought into your home on your shoes, clothes, or other objects. Bottom line, the risk is everywhere. That's why it's so important to understand how worms spread, so you can protect your cat and your home. Signs your cat might have worms. Now that you know what worms are and how they infect cats, let's talk about the signs that might mean your kitty has some unwanted guests. And heads up, a lot of these symptoms are pretty subtle at first, so it's super important to pay close attention to your cat's behavior and body. One of the most common signs is diarrhea. It might be frequent, watery, and in many cases, it can come with blood or mucus. That happens because worms irritate the lining of the intestines, causing inflammation and even small lesions. If the diarrhea lasts more than 2 days, that's a red flag. In more advanced cases, you might even see worms in the stool, little white threads, or rice-like segments, especially if it's tapeworms. Another symptom is vomiting. Besides being a clear sign of discomfort, sometimes the vomit can actually contain worms. In more severe infestations, roundworms, those long white spaghetti-like ones, can be expelled through the mouth. Even if you don't see them, frequent vomiting is always a sign that something's not right. You might also notice changes in appetite. Some cats completely lose interest in food, while others suddenly act like they're starving. That's because their body is trying to make up for the nutrients being stolen by the parasites. Either way, their eating habits change noticeably. Weight loss is another important warning sign. Even if your cat is eating normally, they might still be losing weight because the worms are absorbing the nutrients. So your cat could end up malnourished, even with a seemingly good diet. Then there's the classic bloated belly. This is more common in kittens, but it can happen in adult cats too. The swelling is caused by gas, fluid retention, and inflammation in the intestines. It's that typical worm belly look, a skinny body with a visibly swollen abdomen. Another very visible sign is a dull, rough, or thinning coat. A healthy cat usually has shiny, soft fur. But when worms are present, the body doesn't absorb essential nutrients like proteins and vitamins properly, and that directly affects the skin and coat. The fur loses its shine, becomes brittle, and may fall out more than usual. You might also see your cat scooting, dragging their butt on the floor, or licking their rear end excessively. That's because some worms, like tapeworms, cause intense itching around the anus. Sometimes, you can even spot small white segments stuck to the fur. They look just like grains of rice. And finally, your cat might seem more tired, less playful, or just not interested in interacting. This kind of lethargy is a sign that their body is fighting off the infestation. In more serious cases, they might even develop anemia, with pale gums, weakness, and trouble breathing. All of these signs, whether they show up alone or together, are your cat's way of telling you that something's wrong. And the sooner you catch it, the faster they can get the right treatment and go back to being that energetic, happy cat you know and love. What to do if you suspect your cat has worms. If you've noticed any of the signs we talked about, like diarrhea, vomiting, a bloated belly, weight loss, or changes in appetite, don't wait to take action. Worms might seem like a minor issue, but if left untreated, they can lead to serious health complications for your cat. The first thing you should do is take your cat to the vet as soon as possible. Even if the symptoms seem mild, only a professional can confirm the presence of worms through tests, usually a stool sample, and recommend the right treatment. This is crucial because there are different types of worms, and each one requires a specific kind of dewormer. Never try to medicate your cat on your own. Many over-the-counter products can be ineffective or even dangerous if used incorrectly or for the wrong type of parasite. The vet will consider your cat's weight, age, health history, and symptoms before prescribing the right medication. Treatment is usually done with oral or topical dewormers, and in some cases, a second dose is needed after a few days to make sure all the parasites, including the eggs, are eliminated. In more severe infestations, the vet might recommend additional tests, fluids, or even hospitalization, especially if your cat is very weak. Besides treating the cat directly, it's essential to take care of the environment. Clean the litter box thoroughly, wash food and water bowls frequently, and if possible, replace the litter during treatment. This helps prevent reinfection and protects other pets in the house. And if you have more than one cat at home, keep an eye on all of them. Even if only one is showing symptoms, the others might be infected too, especially if they share the same space or litter box. Remember, the sooner treatment starts, the faster your cat will recover, and with fewer risks of complications. Prevention. How to keep your cat worm-free. Now that you know how to recognize the signs and what to do if they show up, let's talk about the most important part: how to prevent your cat from getting worms in the first place. The number one and most effective way is regular deworming. For kittens, the schedule usually starts between 2 and 4 weeks of age, with regular follow-ups. After that, it depends on your cat's lifestyle. Cats that go outdoors or live with other animals should be dewormed more frequently. That's why it's best to follow a deworming plan recommended by your vet. Another key point is flea control. Using flea treatments regularly, whether it's spot-on drops, collars, or pills, helps break the cycle of infection. Safe feeding is also essential. Avoid giving your cat raw or undercooked meat, as it may contain parasite larvae. Always go for high-quality cat food or properly cooked meals made specifically for cats. And, of course, keep the environment clean. Change the litter regularly. Wash food and water bowls daily. And avoid letting dirt or waste build up in areas where your cat spends time. Lastly, remember, some worms can be transmitted to humans, especially children. So keeping your cats deworming up to date isn't just about their health. It's also about protecting your whole family. Now that you know what worms are, how they infect cats, what warning signs to look for, and how to treat and prevent them, it's much easier to protect your furry friend from this common and often silent problem. Remember, the sooner you spot the symptoms, the sooner treatment can begin. And with regular deworming, safe food, and a clean environment, your cat has everything they need to live a healthy, happy, parasite-free life. If this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with other cat parents. Information saves lives and keeps the whole family well. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Take good care of your kitty. Paw Prints.